So all of the bookworms out there know that we make wish lists for the books that we want, and sometimes you forget what is exactly on the lists. So today I'm going to be going through my Amazon wish list, scrolling all the way to the bottom and finding the very first books that I put on there and seeing if I still want them, because they've been on there for a while. Hey guys, my name's Abby from Abby of Pelennor, and yeah, today we're looking at my old wish list. So I'm sure that you guys, loads of you guys, have got these as well. I know that some of you do. I love going through them and sending people presents. It's one of my favourite things. But let's take a look at what's on mine. The first one I come to is Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and yes, I still want that one. I have, up here, you probably can't see it, I've got Thunderhead up there. My aunt gifted me that one. I read Scythe from a library, so I don't have it, and I want it. So yes, Scythe is definitely one that I am still interested in. I can't justify buying it for myself because I've already read it and I don't have a lot of space. It's one of those ones where when I move into my own place with my partner, which fingers crossed, it's coming soon. I say soon, months, but soon. Then that's the sort of thing that I can go, right, okay, I now have my own space. I can actually buy books rather than burdening my parents with even more. Then next up, I've got Not If I Save You First by Ali Carter. So I actually own all of her other YA books. They're all up here. You just about can't see them because of this part of the bookshelf. And I don't like the cover of this one because it's ugly, so I didn't buy it. I prefer the US cover, but then it won't match my other editions. But that all match. So that one is basically, I have the set and I'd like it. So yeah, I still want it. This is, I was hoping I was going to cull some from this. Next up, we've got The Call by Peter O'Gullin, which I'm probably saying wrong, it could be Peter, I don't know. I borrowed that from a girl I went to university with and I loved it, and so then the next book up is Invasion. I still want those. Okay, we are 4 books through so far. Basically, it's this thing where you get called into another universe and you have to fight an entity and you may or may not survive. It's all teenagers. Every teenager goes through this at a certain point in their life, and it's like learning to deal with that, and then obviously shit goes down. Next one. I can get rid of this one, I think. So this is Coldbath Street by AJ Hartley. This is written by an author from Preston, which is the city that my university is in, that I went to for undergrad. And the book is actually set in Preston. Now, I 100% recommend the book. It's fantastic. It's a really great kind of spooky, creepy kind of horror YA. It's fantastic. It's written beautifully. I love it. But I don't require to own it anymore. It's something that would be like, if I saw it, I'd pick it up. Be like, yeah, sure, go on. Like, I've read it, I liked it. I actually borrowed, one of my best friends at undergrad got the last copy of a limited run print that they didn't do anymore. And so I just borrowed her copy. But yeah, I'm gonna delete that one. Look at me. 5 books in, finally deleted one. Okay, next up is The Girl with All the Gifts by Mr Carey. I really like this one. I really enjoyed it. It is a dystopian book where this young girl, we are in her mind, and so we obviously see her as, you know, just like doing her life, doing her best thing. They see her as a threat, and all of these children in this kind of bunker are actually strapped down to their chairs and kept in cells overnight and then put into a school each day, and like in a classroom, and they're taught lessons. It's really great, it's really awesome, but this is the sort of book where if I saw it in a charity shop, I would pick it up. Like, if I see it in half decent nick in a charity, like if it's damaged to hell, then there's no point. But if it's in like half decent nick in a charity shop, like that, thank you, Coulson, then I would pick it up, but I wouldn't buy it full price, therefore why is it on my wish list? So that can also go. Then the next one is The Boy on the Bridge. I don't know much about this apart from it is the next sequel. I'm going to do the same thing here. I actually listened to The Girl with All the Gifts on audiobook, so if I want to read The Boy on the Bridge, I'll do that by audiobook as well. I'm sorry, who am I? Who am I? What's next? This is insane. Prisoners of Geography, 10 Maps That Tell You Everything You Need to Know About the World by Tim Marshall. I borrowed this from one of my... I have a lot of best friends. Right, look, I have like best friends that are basically actually sisters, and then I have best friends. So this is from one of my best friends, from my master's course this time instead of undergrad, and I borrowed this from her and I read it and I really enjoyed it. This one I'm going to keep. I would intend to buy this one day full price because I did, as you may know by now, my undergrad in geography, so this is something that I would like to have physically on my shelves and would be willing to pay full price for. This is a non-fiction book that tells you about the political side of the physical geography of some nations around the world. Very interesting. Want it. Next up. Divided, Why We're Living in an Age of Wars by Tim Marshall. The only thing I know is that it's the same concept, same author. I'm interested in reading more from him, so that one is staying. Worth Dying For, The Power and Politics of Flags. Again, this one is staying. Same thing. Not read it, but it's in that realm. The Fork, the Witch and the Worm, Tales from Allegeza by Christopher Paolini. This one's staying. I was on such a good run. So I don't think you can see them. Can you see them? You can see the top of Inheritance. I have the whole original Inheritance cycle, the first 4 books. I don't have this one, and I want to read it. So this is staying on the list. Do Not Disturb. I have... Wait. Do Not Disturb? Why is that on there? Oh no, it's not. It's If You Dare. It's just got the... So I'm hopefully sharing the screen here. Is it still recording? I think it stopped recording. It didn't record anything! Road. Right, well, I'm gonna screenshot. So I'll put the screenshot there and then I'm gonna go back and screen record. Actually do it this time. So, screenshot. The title says If You Dare, but the picture says Do Not Disturb. I have Do Not Disturb and I also have The Girl in 6E. If You Dare is the last book in the trilogy. I want it, I own the other 2. That one's staying. So annoyed. Hopefully it's working now. The Sudden Appearance of Hope is a Claire North book. You guys know that's staying. Caitlin Doughty, that's staying. The Pearl Thief, that's staying. This is not good. Try and find ones to get rid of. At the Crossing Places by Kevin Crossley Hodland. So I reread last year the first book in this series. It's a Arthurian retelling. I really like it. But am I that bothered about continuing in the series when I have so many other series to read? No. This one's going. Which also means you've not seen me delete all the other ones. Let me go back. Will it still show that they've been removed from the list? Yes, here we go. Okay, so just to scroll to the bottom to show you, we've got Scythe, we've got Not If I Save You First. Can you see? Look at that cover, it's ugly. Then we've got The Call and The Invasion. Cold Bath Street, gone. The Girl with All the Gifts, gone. The Boy on the Bridge, gone. And then I've kept the mappy ones. And those ones there. Claire North, I adore. You guys know I adore her. And From Here to Eternity is by Caitlin Doughty, who does the channel Ask a Mortician, one of the channels I've been subscribed to the longest. I adore her work. Elizabeth Vine. Okay, so originally I actually scrolled past these 2. Because I have the Rose something, and the Codename Verity, and I love them both. They're staying for now, but they may go. It's World War II fiction, and that's something that I've been reading less of. Then that's At the Crossing Places that's gone. You can pry Rebel of the Sands off of my wish list from my cold dead hands. I read that series on ebook and I adored it. I have the second, is it the second or the third? I've got the second book under my bed. I don't have the first or the third. Skin Jacket Trilogy. The Skin Jacket Trilogy, okay, this is the first ever books that I read by Neil Shusterman. I read them from my library when I was a kid. I had no idea who Neil Shusterman was. I just picked them up off the shelf because they sounded interesting and I adored them. And I've wanted to own a physical copy ever since. Which is why the priority on them is high. So they are staying. Why the hell is the price £210? Okay, right, these are staying as a marker. I'm not actually going to buy them for 200 and... The screen recording stopped again. Road! I'm not actually going to buy them for that amount. Why is the screen recording not working? That makes this less fun. I have to put pictures up instead. Yay. Wish me luck. I'm not actually going to buy them for £210.99, but I'm going to keep this on my wish list just kind of as a note to myself that I want to get all 3 books in the series at some point. I don't care about getting that box set. I think this is about it. I think the rest of them I still really want. God damn it. Goddess Jade and Shadow. I'm less interested in that one now. That one can go. So that's 5? I think that's 5 books that I've removed. Why is Wildcard on there? I haven't even read Warcross yet. Delete. Ready Player 2, I would like it, but it can go. Legendborn. I'm removing Legendborn. Okay. Let me stop this screen recording and start another one in the hopes that this actually saves to my phone. Pretty please. Yay, this one's saved. Okay, so let's start another screen recording. Fuck's sake. So, Legendborn. I've heard that it's basically like a black, what the fuck is it called? The Mortal Instruments. City of Bones? City of Bones? Oh my god. And I have those and I'm only reading them because I own them. Like, they may get on hold at some point and I may just not read them. I don't enjoy that story style. I think it's slightly too juvenile for me. So whilst I appreciate that this has been written by a black woman and features black characters, and I hope more people pick that up instead of reading the Mortal Instruments series, it's not for me and I really need to unhold the Mortal Instruments series. The second half of the German version of The Private of the Honest Tree, it's blue and I want it. I think that is about it. Black Kids I read as an arc from NetGalley and I really liked it. It's historical fiction. It's set in 1992. Passing. Right, Olivia from Olivia Savannah keeps from Olivia Savannah, no that's her name, from Olivia's Catastrophe, keeps mentioning Passing and I need it. German books, because I have been trying to learn German for 17 years. That is a moisturiser. This is a book wish list, Abigail. Remove the moisturiser. A nice edition of War and Peace. One day I will get that. And some old classics from around the world. Ember series, more classics, and that series. So, okay, so let me go and count how many I've got rid of. I now want to get it to 10. Do I need both of these options for War and Peace? No, that's 9. Don Quixote can go. I'm interested, but I won't read it for like years, so there's no point having it on the wish list. Okay, that's 10. That's 10 books. So Don Quixote, fight me. A copy of War and Peace, the wrinkle cream. I'm only 24, I don't need wrinkle cream. I also look like a child. Legendborn, Ready Player 2, Wildcard. Why that was on there, I don't know. Gods of Jade and Shadow, Arthur at the Crossing Places, The Boy on the Bridge, The Girl with All the Gifts, and Cold Bath Street. So, this was basically me going through and getting some books off of my wish list. This is a little reminder to you, go and look through your wish list. Remember that the people who love you will be looking for inspiration for books. So if you don't actually want them, you should really take them off of your list. Let me know if I've made a mistake in removing any of the books that I've taken off of there. I can always add them back on if you insist. But yes, let me know if you think I should add any of those back on. And thank you for dealing with this absolute fucking mess of a video where I tried to screen record about 72 times and the fucking thing wouldn't work. This was just a little weird video idea that I just decided to go through. Basically my wishlist is too long. I would like to be able to actually go in and buy everything from my wishlist at some point, so I need to cut it down. Made it slightly more realistic. Let me know what you thought of the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!